Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vada and today I'm going to tell you about all these books that I read during October. And October was a great reading month for me because I read 5 books, and to read 5 books within a month, it's beyond imagination. So I really loved 4 of the 5 and 1 was not so great for me, but overall I really enjoyed my reading month. October was great, honestly. And before I forget, today's video sponsor is a winter tea. Actually, it's called like this, winter Kräuter tea, which is something like with herbs. It's an infusion with herbs, yeah. And it's great. I love it. I bought it yesterday and I had already so many cups of this. Yeah, the books, right? So book number 1, actually I think I will keep the order like specific, like from the least favorite to the most favorite one. So the first one is Uprooted from Naomi Novik. I bought this book because of the cover. As you see, it's a stunning cover, and I heard so many good things about the author because of her other book, The Spinning Silver. So many people loved that one, and I was really confident that I would like also this one. I didn't read Spinning Silver, but it's been in my list as well. So I bought this book. I had it on my shelf like forever, and I didn't hear many convincing words about this book, so to have the willingness to actually pick it up. But then Talia, the Mandanna book mom, and Tara from Tara Talks Books, they decided to do a buddy read on this. And I said to myself, okay, it's now or never. And actually it was now, then, when I read it, in October. So if it wasn't for those 2 wonderful people, I don't know if I would ever pick this up. But it's not like also that I enjoyed this book much, but I enjoyed the process of the buddy reading, because we had all this fun in MJ's Discord channel to talk about this book and to actually even complain about this book all together. And I liked this, the ambience and the chatting, and yeah, so I liked this more. So the book itself, unfortunately, I cannot give more than 2 stars to this book, because it was not horrible. I had worse, but it was not also great. I will not read it again, and I don't really recommend it to anyone, but it was not horrible, honestly. It was okay, just okay. So in this book, we follow the story of Agnieszka, if I say this name correctly. And Agnieszka lives in a village somewhere. And this village is close to a forest. And this forest is an evil forest. So one thing I didn't like was that the forest was an evil forest. First time in the book I read about a villain which is a forest. Anyways, so every 10 years or so there is a guardian, that he is a wizard, that he lives there in the other side of the forest, and on a tower, and they call him the dragon. So he's not a real dragon. I was hoping that there would be a real dragon in the story, but anyway. So this wizard helps the people, the villagers there, to defend themselves against this evil forest. But in return, every 10 years he wants to have a servant from those villages. So he is choosing the most beautiful, the most charming, the most witty, smart girl. And all these attributes appear in one single person, and her name is Cassia. So everybody thinks that, or Cassia, I don't know, I've never called this name before. I don't know the name. So everybody believes that the dragon will choose Cassia, but the last moment the dragon comes to the village and he chooses Agnieszka. So Agnieszka goes to his tower as a servant, and there she discovers that she's not a simple servant actually, and she can learn many things from him. So this was supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I could totally see the beast, in the face of the dragon. But okay, also the beauty in Agnieszka, I don't know. I mean, she was a good person. She is, I suppose, a good person. But I don't know, the chemistry between the two didn't work perfect for me. And except few scenes that they were like charming and cute, the rest just didn't click so well, again, for me. And yeah, overall, I don't know how to explain this now. I skimmed a lot because most of the part there is this evil forest attacking and trying to corrupt people. And for some people, okay, we don't care if they are corrupted or not. But for example, there are children in this story that they are suffering so much from all these attacks. And I felt so sorry for them. I felt so bad. What was very nice was the strong bond between Agnieszka and her friend Cassia. And in some parts I was thinking that maybe these two would be the main love story in this book. But no, they were not. I mean, they were just friends. But I had the feeling that they would click better than what Agnieszka and the dragon would try to have like as a relationship. So yeah, I don't know. I cannot say I enjoyed it because of this villain that it was so weird. I mean, it was so weird. I cannot get it. Unless it's something major that I'm missing there. I mean, please let me know, because I didn't see why everybody loved this book. I just didn't see it. And the ending was not satisfying at all. I even didn't like the ending. I mean, yeah. So anyways, 2 stars and it's okay. Yeah. This would be a book of a future giveaway one day. The only things I liked was the magic, because the spell casting was wonderful. So there were many times that after a spell was cast, I was just stop a little bit and think like, wow, that was so beautiful to imagine. And yeah, the friendly bond between the 2 girls. Those are the only 2 things I really liked. And the rest were something like between me and, oh my god, why? This something between that. Yeah. Honestly, this evil forest gave me nightmares in my real life. Horrible. Just horrible. Let's move on to the next book. The next one is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. This one, I don't know who has not read it during October, because it was also an overly hyped book generally. So, and I think the hype was real, honestly. I enjoyed this so much. It was a fall read, a cozy fall read, and I loved it. I really liked it. So this one I gave it 4 stars. The story is really nice, it's really great. I will tell you why 4 stars. But okay, first of all, we follow the story of Mika. And Mika is a witch, and she has a YouTube channel. And she's performing real magic, but everybody believes that she's just, pretending that she is a witch. But she's a real one. So one day she gets a letter, a message from someone that they invite her in their mansion in a house, like in the middle of nowhere. Probably that's why the name is Nowhere House. It makes sense now. And there they invite her to be the guardian, like the tutor or the teacher of 3 little witches. So those three girls, they have already a guardian, and he's the librarian in this mansion, and there is a very nice romance between Mika and this hot librarian, okay? But the amazing is that is the bond between Mika and the little girls. So I totally enjoyed their adventures. They tried to gain their trust, to approach them, and they were casting spells together, and it was really fun to read all these things. So it gave me the vibes of the house of the Cerulean Sea, the house in the Cerulean Sea, sorry, and it gave me also the vibes of Mary Poppins, and I really enjoyed this book. It was 4 stars, maybe 4.5, I don't know, but I really enjoyed this one. There is also a plot twist that I didn't see coming at all, and you should read this book if you haven't already. So the only things that were a little bit disturbing for me and didn't make it to 5 stars was that I felt sometimes that this relationship was it had some scenes that they were misplaced. It was like too forced to be completed within one book. This is what I felt. It happened just too fast, and everything happened too fast, and then like a major moment between these two could not happen. I mean, it didn't really have to happen because it felt totally misplaced. These people had other priorities, other things to care about, like more pending stuff were happening. But no, they decided, to just get together and do stuff all of a sudden, because whatever. So this I didn't like it much, and also this book has many cursing words, like swearing, like the F words. They are all over the book. I mean, I don't get it. So this ruined the ambience a little bit. I mean, it destroyed the atmosphere I had in my mind. But those are little things, honestly. This book was very nice overall, and yeah, totally highly recommend it. You should read this book if you haven't done yet. Yeah, amazing. I don't know if there is also a second one. Yeah, no, there is not a second one. I remembered, unfortunately. Yeah, but it was great. It was great, and it fits perfectly for this spooky season in October. So yeah, let's go to the next book. And the third book I read and totally enjoyed in October was Moonlocket by Peter Bunzl. This is the second book in the series in the Cogheart adventures, and this has been a buddy read with my friend Chatty from the channel Chatty the Mad Chatter, and we're doing this Cog-Along during the months of September, October, November and December, and we decided to read one book each month. So we started September with Cogheart, and now during October we moved to Moonlocket, and currently, because it's already November, I already started the third book in the series, The Sky Circus, and I have the feeling that each book I read I like it more than the previous one. So I liked Moonlocket more than Cogheart, and as I started The Sky Circus, I'm like 2-3 chapters in, and I already love it more than Moonlocket. So yeah, so the hype is real also for this book, and I think the fourth might be the best of all or something, but all these adventures are really nice. I really like it. So we follow the story of Lily and Robert in a very nice Victorian steampunk world setup. So yeah, we follow also the story of their little mechanical folks, Malkin here. And those kids in this adventure now, they are trying to escape criminal. And this criminal has a relation with Robert. So this criminal goes after Robert. So what happened is that many years ago, the queen had a very beautiful mechanimal also as a pet. And it was an elephantina. Or, yeah, I don't remember the name. But anyway, she had a very beautiful mechanica. And Elephanta. Yes, I remember. Okay, she had this Elephanta pet. And in order for mechanimals to work, they need to have some infusion, something to trigger their soul, their existence, or whatever. And this is something magical, and that was a kind of like a gem. So this gem that made Elephanta real was stolen by Jack. And Jack, this criminal, stole this thing, yeah, and he was sentenced in a prison for life. But now, some years after, 10 years after or so, he managed to escape. And he wants to find again the stolen gem, and because it's very valuable. So he's going after Robert because he believes that he has a map to locate where this stolen gem is. So it was a very nice adventure. It was a little bit dark in some places, but I really liked to read about how these kids managed to escape or not. I don't know. All of this that they were happening to them. And I had this goal during October to read only witchy books, but I had already promised that I will read Moonlocket because it was a part of this buddy read Cog-Along that we are doing. And I was so glad because in this book there is some feeling of magic, and it is like stage magic, like performance, but still it counts, right? So I was totally happy to read about it here. And as I've seen, the first book was about Lily, actually. So let me show you a little bit. So the first book was about Lily. Let me put them in an order. So those are the Cogheart adventures, and I think because here you can see some images. So here the first is about Lily, and then about Robert, and probably the third is about Malkin, and then the fourth is about both of them. I don't know, but those books are pure delight. Honestly, those adventures, I really like them. And I'm now on book 3, The Sky Circus, and it's already really good from the first chapters even. So yeah, during December, and we will read The Shadow Sea, the fourth one. And if you want to join us, it would be great. We have a channel in MJ's Discord, and we talk there about all those adventures with Chatty, and Talia, the Bandana book mom, joined us, and also Kelly from Kelly Reads a Lot also joined this read along. And if you want to join, you are always welcome. So this one is a very nice story again, and I gave it 4 stars. So this is a great adventure, and as the cover says, it is totally a thrilling tale of catastrophe and courage. Highly recommended as well. The next book was a 5 stars read for me, and it was perfect for the spooky season. It is called Once We Were Witches by Sarah Driver, and this book is illustrated by Fabi Santiago. The illustrations are great, and I made a selection here, so I will show you some of them in the end. So in this book we follow the story of Spell and her sister Megan, and they are both going to this school for wicked girls, the Mold Hill School. So we have a map here, and they're going to this school here. And this school is very weird itself because it is run by nuns, I think, or very serious, and it feels like these teachers there belong to a cult or something. So they try to brainwash all the girls there that witchcraft is something bad, and that they shouldn't like witches, or they try to convince them that witches are evil. So sometimes the girls, because apparently they are natural witches there, they make some magic things that they cannot explain, of course, and they call those things wicked things. So each time girls are doing wicked things, their soul, not their soul, they are like stigmatized by witchcrafty or whatever, and they get one step back from obtaining their soul. So the goal for those girls is to do all things correct, all things that these teachers make them do, in order one day to have a ceremony in order to obtain their soul, whatever this means. So okay, Spell hates witches, and Megan likes to do those wicked things from time to time. So at some point, those two sisters are punished, and they are locked up in a cellar, in a dungeon or something like this. So they got locked up there, and at some point, they were there the entire night without knowing if someone will come ever to unlock them or to even give them food and water or whatever. But anyway, so they were locked up there, and at some point there is a weird note, like message, falling down from the chimney, and in that message there was this advice to run away, never look back, and to go to start a new job in a funeral parlor. And I don't know from where this came from, but that was a very nice idea. The entire job of these girls in that funeral parlor made me realize how great this book is for the spooky season, honestly. So anyway, so they got this note and a key, of course. They unlocked themselves and they wanted to run away, but then they realized that everybody in the ceremonial hall or whatever, they were frozen in place, like cursed. And they discovered that one of the teachers was not frozen or cursed, and she was actually trying to run after them. So the girls got really scared and they escaped this place even faster. So they managed to go to the funeral parlor, and great adventures follow there, in which I remember myself laughing out loudly because there were some hilarious stuff going on. So this was a great adventure to follow, and I cannot wait to start the second book in the series. I hope that it will be as good as the first one. So I loved this sisterly bond. I always love this sisterly bond, but because I have a sister and I love her so much, and each time I read stories about sisters, I can relate ourselves at some point and so the story becomes more personal. But anyways, it was fun to read about it, and at some point one of the sisters goes missing, and then more adventures began because Spell had to go to very weird places, and I don't want to spoil it much, but she had to get back her sister, and that was a great adventure also to follow how this could be done. So I really loved it, honestly. And in December we're reading with Chatty the second book in the series. I think it's called Twice We Make Magic, and so we're reading that one. And so if you have already read this first one and you want to join the buddy read, then drop me a line in the comments and we can talk about it. So I found I marked some of the beautiful illustrations to show you because they are really pretty, honestly. I love them so much. This illustrator, Fabi Santiago, is really great, right? I don't know if she also illustrated the second book. I think it's kind of arranged if you illustrate one to continue, but I don't know. So yeah. Do we see dragon here? Yes, a dragon. There was a dragon in the story. It was so great. Yeah, amazing. Once We Were Witches. Highly, highly, highly recommended, and 5 stars without any hesitation. I don't think there was something in this book that I didn't like. Imagine. Perfect. And if you love middle grade books and you would like to talk about them or to find other readers that they also enjoy reading middle grade books, you can join Chatty's Discord channel. I will have the description down below, so you can join us there and we can always talk about books that they fill our hearts with happiness and joy. Yeah, so join us there, and for more middle grade mad chat. This is how this channel is called. So yeah, please check it out, and I would be so happy to see you there and to join our read-alongs there. So, the final book now of my October wrap-up, Belladonna. First of all, let me tell you, this is from Adeline Grace, and this beautiful edition is the Fairy Loot edition. Yeah, I know, isn't it pretty? And the cover. And if we check under the dust jacket, this is such a pretty edition, right? I know, I loved it so much. And there was this time that everyone would read Belladonna. Everyone. And okay, I had the book. And look at this also. And it was so pretty. Yes, yes. And it would look at me like constantly from my shelf. Like, please read me. Please to join the conversations, with everyone else who is reading this during October. So yeah, I started this one completely on a whim. It was not in my October TBR, but yeah, I really wanted to join the conversations. Why not? Yeah, and I do not regret it. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. Really, really loved it. Honestly, I don't have any single complaint. I had a single complaint, but after a few chapters, it was gone. I got used to it. So, in this story, Belladonna, we follow the story of Signa. And Signa has a very specific, unique relation with death. So, when she was little, apparently, Death went to claim her soul because of an event. And he couldn't, because it wasn't her time. And apparently it was never her time. So Signa grew up with different guardians that they would take custody, is this how we call it? So they would adopt her, but nobody really cared about her. So everybody wanted to have a little part of her huge fortune. So Signa was crazy rich, but she couldn't get her property because she was not an adult yet. So now we are at the part where she is with her last guardian, and apparently somehow she dies also. Yeah, and that's like 6 months before Signa becomes 18 and be actually eligible to get her fortune. So yeah, now she has to move on to another guardian, like a distant uncle or something. And when she goes to that place, she realizes that there are so many mysteries for her to discover and solve in that mansion. So I don't really want to spoil it for you, but this is a combination of romance and mystery, and I couldn't put it down. I started reading it and I finished it in a very fast. I don't remember, it was maybe 3 or 4 days, but I had also other things to do during the day. But I would read this book and totally consume it, honestly. I loved it. I loved the mystery, the ghosts part. So there was a ghost that very persistently didn't want to move on. It was so creepy at many parts, but it was beautifully creepy. It was not like you would be scared forever or something. So I love this book, honestly. I like the strong female character, the leading role, the Signa's role, and I liked how all this mystery was happening around the belladonna berries and how they could be used as poison, to kill other people. So I cannot wait to start the second book, and I was informed that it will be released like in August 2023 or so. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing, but I hope that it is as good as this one, and then I don't mind to wait that long, honestly, to read the second one. And the romance was great. So, people, I'm telling you, and what I'm telling you is true. If you love triangles, this book is for you. And if you hate love triangles, this book is for you. 5 stars, pure perfection as well. I loved it, honestly. It's highly recommended. Honestly, it was a great read. Yeah, you should read it if you haven't already. You win extra points, or you can make a drinking game out of it, of how many times you can spot the word scone or scones within this book. Let me know, how many did you find? One of my friends was literally calling Belladonna as the scones book. It was really fun, really hilarious. A really honorable mention is A Discovery of Witches that was planned to be read during October, but it didn't happen. So I read only this part, but I'm planning to finish this during November. And I'm planning also a nice trip to Prague with my friends during the end of this month. So it will be a great time to read this book on the train as we go there. Yeah, it's a bus. We are not so rich, so we get the bus. It's fun. So guys, those are the 5 books I read this month, and I enjoyed most of them, like in a supreme degree. Yes, so thanks a lot for watching. I hope you had fun. I had also fun describing the books that I read during October and sharing my thoughts of them with you. So yeah, have you read any of these? Let me know. Did you enjoy them or not? Let me know. It would be nice to know, and yeah, to know your thoughts on them. So see you next time. Have fun and enjoy life. Bye.